Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. So it's the anniversary of this initiative. I'll just quickly share what is it and how it started. Okay, so this is welcome everyone to this initiative called as Saturdays for Sustainability Learning, and I'm happy to share that we are completing one calendar year, almost one calendar year. And in today's session, I would also like to share what are my learnings, what we did in last 1 year, and what are the plans for next year. And I would also like your help and you being a part of this initiative for version 2.0. So I'll just quickly discuss what is this initiative all about, and let's move to today's agenda. So this is an initiative where we connect every week, every Saturday to discuss sustainability issues, sustainability topics to understand in a holistic manner. So holistic understanding of sustainability issues is one thing that we all agree, which is important, and we want to achieve that. So that is a goal with which we connect. So in short, if I would say this is a mastermind group, and just for your information, this is the thought process when I started this initiative. It's nothing but a concept of synergy. So one plus one doesn't equal to only two. There are infinite possibilities of addition of these two. It's not just summation. So let's say one plus one not equal to two, but there are, let's say, infinite outcomes that can come from that. And it's the same with two minds. It's the same with synergistic collaborations, and that's how this initiative was thought at initially. And some of the outcomes that I envisioned when I started this initiative, which is first is learning new concept every week. The reasons are two. First is sustainability itself is a dynamic in nature. So every something is coming up every week, every day, I would say. So it's not possible for us to give that much time to learning about this. We don't have that much time. So this is the second reason. So first, sustainability being a dynamic thing, it changes quite often. And second is we don't get that much time in our daily lives to pay attention to or read everything about it. So first thing, dedicated time will help us to connect with other people, understand it, network with fellow professionals who are also having the same goal. Third is about opportunities, learning opportunities or career opportunities. And the fourth is thought leadership in terms of sustainability and sustainable development. So with this outcome, there are two basic foundation on which this entire sessions were based on. The first is DIKW pyramid. It's nothing but data, information, knowledge, wisdom. So what I thought was what we have in today's time, more data, more information, more and more, in fact. But what we lack is knowledge and wisdom out of it. How do we apply it? That is something we are missing, which only comes from experience and let's say time. So how do we shorter that gap? So that is something that I would like to focus in this. So one way to get it from others' experiences, and second one is I feel that discussion and question and answer is the best way to learn. So these are the two foundation on which this discussion forum, this initiative started. And I'm very sure if you have joined this session today, so hopefully you have received this link either through WhatsApp or the calendar invite. But if you haven't, I'll share this link with you, and you may join this because this is the system that I have created. You will get automatic emails and all. So that's how your participation, your sustainable participation is ensured in short, right? So this is a short introduction, 2 minute introduction about this initiative. And I'm very happy to share this is week 47, 47th Saturday that we are connecting on 29th June. And I started this initiative on 1st of July, which was Saturday, 1st of July 2023. And let's say in last 52 weeks, we have connected for 47 weeks. So that is how was the review of 1 year. I'll just quickly share my learnings from it. And second is today's topic, as we had discussed already. So it's sustainability and ESG guide. So I'll just quickly skim through it and we will see what are the important topics from that. All right, so let's first move to a review of year one. So from July 2023 to June 2024, as we are ending this uh, Saturday, the June month. So overall overview, if you see, we have conducted 47 sessions. This is the 47th session, and total registrations we received almost more than 400. And if I say percentage wise, so it's 90% plus sessions were conducted. So this is the overall consistency that we had for last 1 year. And the guest speakers, we were having around 8 official guest speakers, but I would definitely say the number is more because all of us in this session are the guest speakers, are the experts. It's not like if one is expert and others are just listeners. So we all are contributing to this discussion. So I would say officially we invited 8 guests, guest specific sessions, but otherwise we definitely had more guests and more experts into the session. So which are the common theme that discussed in the last 1 year was basics of sustainability or basics of BRSR, ESG. So that was the thing. Second was reporting framework. We discussed specifically BRSR. Third is latest trends and technologies in ESG like AI, ML for sustainability. So that is one thing that I liked a lot. And next was some of the books, some of the training programs like we discussed Small is Beautiful book. We also discussed one workshop, Climate Press. It's not a book, but it's a resource that we can utilize. And the last one was few of the career guidance sessions were also planned in last year. So this is in short gist of the discussions that happened last year. And if you ask me my 3 learnings from this last 1 year, so definitely I can share it in short in this way. So first is I found that different perspectives matter. It's very important that we hear different people, their perspective about the same topic, which is very critical to true understanding of any topic. Because whatever we read, whatever we let's say understand through whatever way, that's the one point of view. So if we consider a map of world, it's just the map made by us. So that might not truth. So it's always better to understand what other people are thinking, why they are thinking so, and is there any correction to my map which I have made in my mind. So I guess that is something that I'll take as my takeaway for year one. Second is most often we talk a lot, uh, whether it's about our day-to-day life or the work that we do, or even the sustainability, sustainable development. But experience or activity is something which is very key to understanding. So uh, just talking is not enough. So whatever way we can start acting on it, so that is definitely better compared to all other discussions and theory. So that is something that uh, I have experience, I would say. And third is priorities determine the consistency. So for me, uh, if you ask me how I completed this 1 year, so I initially thought of only starting only 10 sessions. So I created invite for 10 sessions, calendar invite, and that's how uh, I committed to 10 sessions initially. Then if then when 10 completed, I committed myself to next 20 sessions. So in this way, 10 plus 20, 30 happened. So I was past the half mark. So I thought we have done so good till this half time. So why not complete it till 1 year? And that's how I completed today as a 1 year, 1 calendar year. Wonderful. So this is in short about what we did in last year. So I would also like to discuss something what I have planned for next year, and definitely it's not concrete as of yet, but I would definitely like to get your inputs on it for next version 2.0 maybe, and make it more useful for all of us. So these are some of my thoughts, and I'll definitely request all of you to connect with me maybe at individual level, or maybe we can connect tomorrow or in this next week to fine tune it. But some of the thoughts are, please let me know if you'd like to add anything. Okay. So where I failed or where I think there is scope of improvement is more discussion should be there, more participative engagement should be there. So that is one thing that I feel, because I feel that more people should talk. So I consider myself there a little bit failure, I would say, because people would not talk that much. So how to do that? So that is something that I would focus on. So and apart from that, more networking opportunities. How do we do that? And is there any way to share contact details or expertise or the expert list that we have in this initiative who are ready to share their contact details? Uh, so that is something that I would think on to improve. Second is, in first year, I didn't take systems thinking as a core topic. But going forward, I firmly believe that systems thinking is very important for sustainability and sustainable development. So I would be hosting another session apart from this Saturday sessions as systems thinking co-creation activity. So we will pick up one project, one case study, and we will implement systems thinking over there. So that is something that I'll definitely start in this year. Third is more expert sessions, and that's how we will get to know more about sustainability and what is there. So it would be a win-win-win for all of us. Okay, so I would recommend all of you, if you have any expert in mind, you as an ambassador of this initiative, you can also talk to the expert and invite them. Please feel free to consider this as your initiative as well. So we will definitely would like to have more experts coming to the session. Fourth is technically, now at this level, so I have 400 plus registrations to the initiative, and I'm finding it difficult to manage it through calendar invite. So I guess I need to find some better solution. I started with Google Group, but somehow I couldn't do it. So definitely I need to have something better option. So that is something that I'll improve. And the last one is it should be self-sustaining, the initiative, because it should not, I always believe that whatever thing we do, it should not be dependent on any person. So it should be such an initiative that it should continue whether the person is there or not. So that is something that I'll look for. So, and I suggest, as suggested by Siddesh, so more and more co-creation activities to engage people. Agree. So let's see how to do it. So in next 1 week, I'll finalize this. So I'll request you, if you have any suggestion, please feel free to share with me, and do let me know what we can do. Okay, so that's it about this initiative from my side. If anybody would like to come in and share your thoughts, you're welcome. Yes, yes, Siddhesh.
So basically, I just when you were talking, I just realized, since I have an evaluation background, what will be great, to see is for us to have some dashboard in front of us
Mm-hmm,
to see holistically where this country is going with respect to SDG goals.
mm-hmm,
Which are the companies doing better in this aspect of ESGs for having and then see the progress, what
mm-hmm.
is happening across and how it is contributing to the well-being of this to start with the country.
Right.
Because now what we are doing, most of the things we are doing in isolation, right? We are
Mm-hmm,
that's good. Like we will talk about what is ESG, what is SDGs, and we will
mm-hmm.
look at various companies. We'll call experts. They will talk about what they are doing.
Mm-hmm.
But what is the impact this all these things that is happening in this space is having throughout the country?
Mm-hmm.
What are we achieving as a country? That is something will be interesting to see how we can do that. As maybe a dashboard where we see those kind of variables or parameters to look at, and
Perfect.
how others are doing it. Maybe I don't know. So it will, so that we every time we meet every Saturday we will have a look at those parameters, and because we will seeing actual data, right? And then
Mhm.
uh, we'll know what is happening around.
Perfect. Perfect.
What are the
Got it.
failures? What are the learnings? What are the learnings? And all.
Okay, so I have taken your point in this way. So we need to create a dashboard or overview of what is happening. Some, let's say, best resources should be there. So we can create a repository of data or the link where
Right.
we can get the
No,
latest update, and at the same time we could
I
have a
mean,
summary of it,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, I just example to give,
Mm-hmm.
like if you see the pollution levels in all the cities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Delhi, Mumbai, Pune, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, even when people, all the corporates are working in this sector, ESGs, their CSR activities and environment, right? Why is this the pollution levels are not coming down, right? Then what are we working for? So we as a community who are working in this space have to answer such questions. We may not have the kind of we might not have the authority to intervene, but at least we know what is happening, why it is not happening, so that
Got
people
it.
who are working on the reports and all, they can contribute.
Sure.
Because if what companies who are working, their impact is not getting reflected in the parameters of the country, what is the use? Like if we are not getting clean drinking water, we are not, we are facing pollution, that all this stuff, right? So
Yeah.
that might be an interesting thing to look at next year.
Got
Oh,
it. Got it. Got it. Yeah. Got it. So definitely we can do it. Yeah.
Just hi, good evening, team.
Yeah. Good evening, sir. Yeah.
This there is a online tracker from USG, UN for each and every goals.
Right.
I just shared a link. You
Yeah.
can check
I'll
it
I'll
out.
just share
How
that on screen.
India is progressing, and this is not there is a tracker for each and every country. It is based on the previous year's reports. And this report is getting updated every now and then whenever the data are getting updated from the particular country. Maybe.
Yeah. So definitely we can do that. So how I'm seeing it is, so there are some good resources like this one, right? But many of the time, what happens? So we don't have that much time to research all this. So where is the best resource? So maybe how I am looking at it is we will share the repository of data. So best, let's say, if I want to search this, which is the best website? If I want to search this, which is the best resource? So in that way, we can give, and at the same time, we can have some short summary over there. So okay, if you go there, this is something that you will get. So this can be a useful uh, database or repository of all the important resources. Yeah.
Sure.
Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. I'll definitely share that.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Professor Seema Mishra, and I'm thankful to Mr. Vijay Joshi for introducing me to this platform. And I'm having around 24 years of experience, and in last 14 years, I was a teacher for environment management and sustainability. And currently, I'm a professor in a Nalanda University Center in Environmental Sciences and Sustainability. So, I have learned sustainability as per my interest and teaching up to ESG level. So I would be very happy if I will be of any help in this group and I can contribute.
Great. Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Seema. So yeah, so from this point, I also got one idea that we could have some expert sessions aligned, and at the same time, we could have some mechanism where we capture the doubts or requirements of all of us. So let's say if we would like to suggest some topic where we would like some support, so we can
Yeah.
raise it there, and that's how we can get the experts. So thank you so much
And
for volunteering. Yeah, please.
yeah, I'm having very good contact because my alumni are placed in very good companies and consultancies. And Vijay Joshi is also my student. So
Wow.
I'm very happy that if I can contribute through my alumni also.
Great, great. Thank you
Thank
so much, Dr. Seema, for joining. So
you.
definitely, we will chart the future of this initiative with your support, definitely. and support of all so that this becomes a useful resource for all of us to go forward.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Yeah, so any other comment if you'd like to add about this, or should we go to today's discussion topic that we had?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi,
My
Sparsh.
name is Sparsh Sethia, and I just completed my MBA from Pandit Deendayal Energy Institute in
Mhm.
Energy and Infrastructure Management. So I want to know about uh, from where I start my career, or as well as I want to gain knowledge about sustainability, environment, climate change, and also ESG reporting, many types of. So I have basic knowledge about climate change as well as sustainability, ESG reporting. But I want to go deep in this topic.
Mhm.
So from where I can start, give some insight.
Okay, so first thing I would suggest, start joining the session every week. Okay. Second thing is there are many free resources, and we also have the recording of this initiative itself. Okay, so you can go there, you can check. I would not say only this initiative. There are many free resources, and this is something that I have made available. If you have joined the WhatsApp group, you can see the link in the group itself. So you will get all these links for whatever sessions happen till now. Okay. So this is something that I would definitely share with you if you don't have. But we have couple of sessions on the same topic, like Mr. Nirbhay Lunde, who guided us on ESG and CSR, how it's panned out in India, and also at the same time, Mr. Nitin Mishra, who also guided us on career aspects related to sustainability. So I would recommend you can go ahead and watch this. Okay. In interest of all of others time who have joined, I'll move ahead with today's topic. Okay. Because how we conduct this discussion is we have the predetermined topic where we discuss it, and everyone is free to share their point of view. So it's not a one-way communication. Okay. But I would highly recommend if you have, I would request you if you have any queries, anything you want to share in this, so uh, please raise your voice, because I believe that every one of us who have joined have something to share to all of us. Okay. All right. So should we move ahead and we can take up if any other comment unrelated to the topic of today? Definitely, I would love to hear you at the end of the session. Okay. Is it okay?
Yeah, we can move it.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Thank you, everyone. So today's topic was this is one sustainability and ESG guide that I could get online. Okay, so the resources audit board uh, who have prepared this report, so it's not mine. But what I found is it can be a useful guide to start with if we want to start sustainability and ESG and we want to understand it. So I'll just quickly share what points I liked about this report, and maybe we might not have the enough time to discuss everything that we have in this report, but something to start with that I'll share and what I like. Okay, so as you can see in table of content, there are 4 chapters, and at the end there is a conclusion. Starting with planning and scoping, which is very important, and in that they have the 4 sections. So I could read all this, and I'll share my learning from all these sections. Okay. Chapter 2 is governance controls and processes. So disclosure controls and procedures, how to start with it, and integrating the ESG controls in audit and risk management process. So how to do it. Then ESG data management, avoiding greenwashing. Greenwashing is coming up as one of the major constraint for ESG or sustainability reporting. So how do we solve that issue? That is one thing. And last one is disclosure reporting and assurance. How do we do about it? So these are some of the topics, some of the things that are explained in this report. And at the start itself, I would say that this is not designed keeping India in mind. So this is most probably all the points are explained for let's say Europe, or maybe if we consider the out of India scenario. But what I liked is the approach. So though for BRSR, it would not be the same standard, same framework that we have listed over here. But the framework, the idea through which this has been designed, so definitely we can copy that. Okay, so I would just like to read this introduction so that we'll get the idea why it is important, and then we can go ahead. So I'll read from here. Beyond greenwashing, building trust through robust ESG reporting practices. In the latter half of the decade, boards and executive leaders have faced growing pressure from investors, consumers, communities, and other stakeholders to publish voluntary sustainability reports and consider environmental, social, and governance (ESG) areas in their risk programs. More recently, regulatory trends in the European Union, United Kingdom, and United States are shifting from voluntary climate-related disclosures to mandatory disclosures and assurance. We have seen it happen in India already. So BRSR, as we know, is mandatory for top 1,000 listed companies. In particular, new climate disclosure regulation affecting businesses in the US, EU, and UK include the Security and Exchange Commission's SEC enhancement and standardization of climate-related disclosures, CSRD, which is Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive, the California Climate Accountability Package. So this might be specifically for USA. Currently, the rise of greenwashing fraud has added additional pressure on corporations issuing sustainability reports. Research by ESG data firm Risk reveals greenwashing by banks and financial services firms around the globe increased by 70% between 2022 and 2023. So greenwashing has increased. Okay. So I initially I thought the perception was the risk has increased, but no, it actually greenwashing has increased by 70%. That is what they have shared here. And while going through in this session, I would again request everyone. So this is not an expert session. This is not just I am talking. Wherever you feel that you can come in and you can share your experience and your thought process. So please feel free, raise your hand or just unmute yourself and please let us know. Okay. So the penalties for greenwashing can range from loss of investor and consumer confidence to financial penalties. Notably, in 2023, Deutsche Bank owned firm DWS was fined $25 million by SEC for making misstatements regarding their ESG investment processes. So, setting up the context for ESG reporting, why it is important. So, first is greenwashing has increased, and when greenwashing increases, means let's say some organization is putting some false data regarding sustainability. So they are saying we are doing some sustainable work, but they are not actually. So that's the greenwashing. And this is the first thing. So as greenwashing is increasing, so the doubts of people, doubts of all stakeholders, whether it is investor, consumer, or whether these are the partners. So everyone is more cautious about it, whether it is right or wrong. And second thing is, as it is mandatory, so we can also see some uh, fines or some strict regulatory actions that is being taken for many organizations. So these are, I guess, some important things because of which we need to pay attention. As the level of scrutiny over sustainability claims and reporting continues to intensify in 2024, organizations must prepare to assure their ESG reporting data is accurate and reliable. This will involve identifying and engaging the right individuals and teams to lead reporting efforts, prioritizing ESG efforts by materiality, integrating ESG into businesses' overall enterprise risk management strategy, and preparing the business for ESG audit. So as you can see, generally when we see ESG or sustainability reporting, only one thing that comes in our mind, that is sustainability report or maybe data collection. But as you can see, these are some of the important sub-task, I would say. So let's say identifying the material topic or integrating it in the organization's management strategy. So it's not just a sustainability thing, but it should be a standard operating procedure, and it should come into their strategy of work. So that's something which is important. Preparing for ESG audit. So there are multiple things that they have to do, and this is a guide curated by audit board team. We cover how audit risk and compliance teams can begin to tackle these efforts and prepare their organizations to confidently face the growing demands of ESG compliance and assurance. So there is something which is explained in this report. So let us move ahead. And meanwhile, if anybody of you would like to stop somewhere and would like to read it in more detail, so please do let me know. Okay. So starting with chapter 1, it's planning and scoping, where we see how to start about it. Yeah, so as we already know, there are multiple frameworks and multiple standards across the world. This guide will largely address compliance with these regulations. So it's not covering BRSR, but can be applied to additional ESG regulations in other countries and territories, as well as future ESG regulations. So this is something that they have shared at the start. To utilize this guide, conduct a diagnostic and gap assessment to determine applicable regulations and assurance requirements. First thing, compare your business's existing data and reporting systems with ESG assurance requirements to identify areas of overlap. Third is prepare compliance and assurance requirements by leveraging the people process partners integral to your business financial assurance. And fourth is address any gaps by new roles and technologies, professional services as needed. All right. So they have shared some of the quick reference guide for different ESG regulations. Let's say if we talk about CSRD, which is Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive, which is originating territory, as you can see, it's European Union. Most relevant standards also they have given over here, as you can see. What is the overall requirement for that particular standard? The reporting scope is given, and audit requirement is also shared over there. And so this can be a quick reference check which are the regulations and which would be applicable for our particular organization. So that can be done. Some compliance deadlines they have given for these particular standards and frameworks and when they came into picture. So that is also it's given. Sustainability framework, standards and ratings, what to know. Yeah, so this is something I found which is useful. The concept of double or impact materiality that they have shared, and they have also uh, shared which of the standard, which of the framework having double materiality or single materiality. We have already discussed the concept of materiality in one of the sessions. Uh, you can find that very easily. I'll share the link. But in this report also, I would like to again reiterate uh, how it is important, and they have also given one example over here. I hope you can see.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Hope it's visible. Okay. So can anybody would like to comment on it or explain what you have the thought process about it? You can, or if you'd like to explain from the screen, that is also fine. Should I?
Yeah, you can, please.
Uh, yes, Dr. Seema, you want to add, please? I could see your mic was unmuted. So if you'd like to go ahead, please, please.
Yeah, I was about to speak. Please, you start. I will contribute. Please.
Okay, sure. Thanks. So if we
So
talk
sorry,
about,
Dhananjay,
Yes, Siddesh.
If to go to the first page, when we look at such, first page of the report, you talked about the greenwashing thing, right? So how, if I have to look at, nowadays I started looking at the warm data kind of stuff, how when we look at such things, how do we feel that greenwashing is happening in this space, right? Why is it happening? And what can we do? Suppose also the question remains like someone genuinely wants to work in ESG space in a company, right? But that person is not given the freedom to give 100% justice to that project. So what people do when such things arises, such kind of things also can be discussed in this space. I think that many people may be going through that kind of frustration and because they want to genuinely contribute, but the entire system is working in such a way. System is working with exploitation, right? Exploiting resources. So what can be done, and why that might be the reason greenwashing must be happening, because even if there are experts in this space, they are not given the power to actually implement what they want to. So how people are handling, if experts can comment in that, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for adding that question, Siddesh, and how I can relate it with the topic, and even it can be very well linked to materiality, the concept of materiality also. So if you only talk about single materiality, which is only what is material to business, okay, and that is something that conventionally the businesses were having in mind. So what is material, and the concept of materiality comes from what is material, what is important for us. That's it. So greenwashing, what I would see it as is, it's the narrow thinking, myopic thinking maybe. So we are not thinking long term. What will happen if we exploit these resources? What will happen if we, let's say, put toxins in our river? As simple as. And greenwashing is something what I would say is, it's not understanding the material topic, material issues that are important for our business, and misrepresenting what work we are doing. So it's nothing but whenever sustainability reports or sustainability claims are made by these organizations, uh, there are two possibilities how I see it. Please, this is a discussion, so please, if anybody would like to add, please. But what I feel, there are two ways. First is, an organization is genuine; they are doing the genuine work, but out of ignorance, they might have maybe miscommunicated something. So that's a genuine mistake, right? And second is, the organization knows everything, but it's intentionally they are providing the wrong information to the stakeholders, right? So what I feel is, the greenwashing, and that's how the people in first category who are doing the genuine work, but somehow, because sustainability is such a large domain, there are so many things interrelated with each other. So few things can go wrong, and that's the I guess apprehension that people have around greenwashing, as you said, right?
That is still accepted, because that is
Yeah,
something that knowledge is not there. That's why that is not
right,
happening. It's a genuine
right.
mistake.
Yeah,
So
a genuine mistake, or
yes,
maybe they were
yeah,
not
yeah.
having that understanding at that point of time. Later on, they discovered that okay, so this is also parameter over there, and they correct that mistake. So we will not call that as a greenwashing, definitely. Maybe people perceive for short time, maybe this is a greenwashing. So that's the challenge for organization. Uh, how do they prepare the reports in such a way they are not seen as a greenwashers, maybe, but at the same time they represent whatever the genuine work that they have done. So that's really a big concern for all organizations. Uh, but I guess,
But my question was like, suppose someone comes with a report,
Mhm.
are they allowed to be transparent enough to publish it, without the
Ah,
pressures of the
right,
higher management that you can't because this data is against, is, that
right.
how people in this industry are dealing with those pressures and those anxieties, and Is it affecting their mental health? These all larger aspects should also be discussed as this in this community, I strongly feel, because it's just, since we are going to use systems thinking, this all also variables should be incorporated. Whether this kind of discussions are coming out, whether people are openly talking about this, so I feel that is also important.
Yeah. Anybody would like to share your experience on this? So, to simplify the question, it's like, so let's say, let's consider a scenario. You're working in organization. You know that the organization is, let's say, culprit somehow. So they are misrepresenting the data, or they are the greenwashing, or maybe the management is not truthfully submitting the report. So what would be your action first point? And so how would you take it if there is such kind of scenario, if you could see it, if you have experienced such kind of behavior? Maybe you don't need to name the organization, but you can share the generalized feedback. And second is, what is the action item that you can do or we can do? So if anybody would like to share, maybe you can take hypothetical example or something.
Kulkarni sir.
Yes, Murli sir, please.
Yeah. See, when we talk, there are 2-3 things. One is greenwashing as a process. It has come about basically that the company, though it has some unsound practices, they would like to mask and show to the stakeholders that the company is really caring about environment management, and they are progressing, and also they are in a position to say that they still have this environmental stewardship.
Right.
Now, it is not that they do not know and they commit this mistake. It is basically knowingly they do that, wherein it becomes difficult for any stakeholder to identify this process. Unless otherwise it comes up. It is more like we have a very good waste management, and suddenly there is a fire of the hazardous waste and the community is impacted. Then the question comes in as to how did this happen? So mostly it is very difficult to find the greenwashing process, and basically it is equally driven by the investors, the investment what they would like to get, or the progress they want to make in terms of investment expansion and other things. It is basically impacting their business.
Right.
So one thing is that this is a process which always has been there. Okay, it is more like preparing air pollution report, telling that we have the pollution levels below the pollution control board limit. But suddenly you set up a station and monitor it for 2 months or a week, you find it is just beyond the permit level. So the causes for this are, the factors for this are too many, and it is for the organization's board. Now, as a sustainability manager or an executive or whoever is preparing a sustainability report, he or she cannot do anything about it. And it is very clear. So that is why the recent legislations in Europe and maybe in other countries also are making the board of directors or the top management to be responsible. Should there be, now it is becoming stringent that should there be a greenwashing process and it gets detected, either they are fined or they are blacklisted, or maybe the directors will go to jail, depending on the gravity of the offense committed. So this
Right.
is one way of coming up with a process to see to it that this gets curbed.
Right.
However, always any company, when we say that, as a company person also, you will see that you would like to show good things. You would like to share only the brighter side of things as what you
Right.
have done or what you have initiated, and cover the darker sides or somehow mask it or put it with sugar coating to see to it
Right.
that people really overlook these issues. So this
Right.
the process of greenwashing has had has got itself identified or it's becoming prominent basically because in spite of regulations, in
Mm-hmm.
spite of voluntary initiatives, in
Mm-hmm.
spite of whatever ISO standards or any other standards for that matter, or investor risk assessment issues which are being there, sustainability indices, etc., etc., all these frameworks are there, but still some nonsense is happening somewhere.
Right.
So one way is that to correct is just take legal action, make them responsible or rather accountable for the mistake committed, and accordingly the actions will be initiated. So that is why we see a new type of legislations or new nature of legislations which are coming up, wherein it is going to take, it is going to become
Mm-hmm.
severe or it is going to become more strict or stringent in the years to come when more and more companies start reporting or more and more issues come up. See, for example, one typical example is that
Mm-hmm.
if you remember, if you have read that one Gucci is a very famous
Yeah.
Italian brand
Right.
company. They said they are doing a lot of things for climate change, and they bought uh, some of the carbon credits from some agency and all. And suddenly they discovered, meaning they
Mm-hmm.
did not discover, the NGOs or civil
Someone discovered.
society or
Yeah.
other people, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the organizations discovered this was
Right.
all fake. Half the things were fake. Now
Mm-hmm.
it comes to millions of dollars if you see that. So
Right.
the impact on the credibility of a framework, a process, or initiative, whatever is taken, that gets a beating because of some black sheeps which are there, which is there everywhere. So the idea behind this is that to make things stringent, to make
Mm-hmm.
the board accountable, and also to see that the legislation, whatever is enunciated or prepared, prevents them from taking such risks, or to see
Right.
that these things don't get overlooked. They may be, if they are identified, they may be prosecuted or they may have to pay for the mistake what they have done. This is the process what is happening. Now, if we really see with technology, with artificial intelligence and various other tools which are there, obviously the manipulation has also become more sophisticated. In other
Right.
words, the greenwashing process, which was there, instead of 20 ppm, you put 5 ppm, which was more like a simple greenwashing. It has become very, very sophisticated with various tools and other things available. So obviously, the measures what is being taken is to see to it that this is curbed or this is prevented to the best possible extent, so that the credibility of any framework or the process is taken care of. So this is the state of affairs as of now, today. Like if you really speak of greenwashing in Indian context,
Mm-hmm.
nothing can be done. You go to a court and say, prosecute some company and say this fellow is lying and he has cheated and whatnot. Nothing will happen. As we see, the worst case of Bhopal tragedy itself took
Right.
20 years for to get justice. So the regulatory framework equally has a role to play in greenwashing, and that is why Europe is making it very, very stringent. They would like to see to it that fit for 50 or fit for 30 or whatever the scheme what they are coming up with, the
Right.
policy measures to see to it that issues are taken care of. So we see a spate of legislations which are coming, and they are going to be stringent. And most of the Indian companies who are, sorry to use the word, if they are sleeping or they were lax and they were chalta hai type attitude which was there, will all be finished. So what we expect is by 2030, the
Mm-hmm.
regime, the methodology, the evaluation, everything is going to change. And more transparency and evidences or accountability will have to be brought. Okay. I
Right.
thought I have taken a little bit of time.
So,
I
so
think
It was
that was
helpful, sir.
no,
Thank you.
so that was an
Yes, Siddesh.
interesting aspect. I just wanted to ask you, my question was like, what, according to you, the people who are working in this ESG space, who see that even after working and showing these reports and coming out of with the data, their
see,
companies are what how they should handle that, because
see
that's
the
not in their
question.
hand.
See the question
Yeah.
here basically is that what is the purpose of reporting? The reporting is nothing but a communication to the stakeholders or those impacted parties who are there to say that I am a good corporate citizen. This is the fundamental requirement.
Right.
And if in that principle itself you pollute the principle and you report and say that it is everything is going fine and whatnot, and suddenly there is a surprise event or a disaster which is in waiting happens, obviously the company cannot do anything about it. So, in this context, to answer to your question, what can be done as a sustainability executive manager or whoever it is that to project these details to the top management and keep evidence of that. So tomorrow an investigation happens and a disaster and a root cause analysis happens. So we have something to say that we have pointed out these as risks, and it is the management who did not listen or they did not hear or they overlooked this or they were negligent about it, whatever it is. And so we, as somebody who is doing work, we are providing, or I would say cautioning the management to say that these issues will have to be, cannot be overlooked or cannot be brushed under the carpet. So that is the extent you can do. So one thing
Yeah.
to answer to your very simple in the terms answer to your question is that keep evidences, have a clear communication with the management on the issues happening, make them understand the ground reality. Because many people, even today, when I interact with companies, they simply talk climate change, etc. You talk to the management, they don't bother about it. They don't know what for it is. Nothing. They just say put solar panel, put wind energy or something. That's all they want, so that we can save some money. The fundamental thing, the implication or the grave implication which may be there, is really not understood across. So, as sustainability professionals, we can only do to this extent that we share the knowledge and communication, the risk factors are the issues which may come up to the management, caution them, and also not only caution, maybe provide solution in that, or a number of solutions which could be undertaken, and keep evidences for them.
So
Without
documenting,
whatever it is,
emailing, yeah,
whatever, yeah,
whatever.
it
Yeah, yeah.
could be anything. It could be anything. But something has to be there that you have pointed it out, you have identified it as someone who is knowledgeable. And that's what we are expected to do. If we say, I'm a sustainability officer and I do not know anything about the issue, what is a European due diligence directive or something like that, then we are caught. And the management is going to ask you as a sustainability manager, how is it that you didn't know that? You are appointed as a sustainability manager for this. So that is why two things. One is updating information, and second is sharing it and communicating in a proper forum to the top management, keeping evidence. These three are the ones which can save our skin in today's context.
Thank you so much, sir. That these are very good insights, especially for newcomers and students who just also. I don't know whether Dhananjay, if we can see like this kind of, it should be a module in itself in this courses of ESG, right? This
Agree,
how
agree.
to
This
how
is
to collect,
so much,
how to
so much important.
communicate, yeah, how to communicate with higher management, how to keep evidences and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very important. And at the same time, means this is really important. And let's say if you, what I thought Siddesh was asking, this is the primary thing. And apart from that, if let's say you see that whatever you are communicating, you see wrong thing happening, but there is no action, willful inaction is there. So I guess whistleblower policies or such kind of whatever policy interventions that you can do within your capacity in the organization. So I guess that you can do after doing what Murli sir said. Right?
Dhananjay, I want to add one thing.
Yes, Nidhi, please.
The cost of sustainability is also be the one of the reason of greenwashing. Because
How so?
nowadays, uh, because the reason is that when we deal with the global market like European or American customers like that, they want sustainability and talk more about the sustainability. But when you ask about the royalty of sustainability, nobody want to pay. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes intentionally people do misreporting because it is
Mm-hmm.
the question of survival. So it
Right,
is a question of survival. Then where first we choose survival, then after that we choose the sustainability. So
right.
it is not a question of who will pay the sustainability cost. So major root cause of the greenwashing, I think so. Might be I may be wrong, but according to me, sometime intentionally it will happen because of the nobody want to pay the sustainability cost.
Right. So what
No,
I
you
got
are
from
you are
Murli sir is,
you are right, sir. But
yeah,
the thing
yeah, please.
is, it's what we call as a wicked problem. It's a problem with multiple causes and a complicated issue, and it becomes very difficult to make any one person or agency accountable. So that is why one of the things to prevent these issues or come up with some other initiative is to come up with newer legislations, and also to see that the companies fall in line, and either you do this or you perish. That's all. Nothing else. So nothing in between, that we will somehow manage, we will see when it happens, or that sort of a thing is all dead virtually. And what we are going to see is totally a new approach or new initiatives coming up, and companies will have to be prepared for this. Not only companies, any sustainability professional who would like to be a professional in the next 5 years must be knowledgeable and must be prepared to face these challenges. Nothing can be done. You are
Also,
absolutely right. The sustainability cost, yes, who has to bear this cost? That is why there has been a change in the trend when we look at it. If we look at a textile industry, most of the brands are the culprits in this. They pay cheaper, less than $1, and sell the same t-shirt for $5 and $10 in the market. Now it has become a big issue, and some of the brands have come up and said, we will bear the cost, either through a reward or through whatever bonus or something like that. So the mindset which was there is changing. Okay. So it will take some time, but all these legislation pressures and the civil society initiatives and other things getting pointed out, a lot of changes are happening, and I would only say we are in an exciting times. That's all.
sir, do you feel that since we are facing so many climate events now, the feedback is not delayed anymore, right? The climate uh, catastrophes are already, we are seeing the floods, heat waves. Do you feel that it's going to push the governments to actually take action now with respect to
Yeah,
all
you
this
see
reporting?
that. See that is already. I mean, things are being taken, but the question is that while Al Gore came up with the movie as Inconvenient Truth way back in maybe 2000 or something, we are 20
2006
years,
something, I think.
whatever, 2000, 20 years past. But what has been the percolation? What has been the initiative which has happened? It's very slow. Suddenly there is an emergency now of 2 degrees or 1.5 degrees warming. So everybody is waking up, but still the community has to wake up. Everybody has to contribute. The policies will have to come up from the government, and lot of changes and technologies will have to come up to address this issue. Otherwise, I mean, just blaming the government or blaming the company will not do any good at all. It's a crisis, a humanitarian crisis, which will have to be addressed with multi-pronged approach, if you see that.
Yeah, that's a wonderful, wonderful answer. Balanced and practical. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, to sum up, what I learned from this discussion is one thing is sustainability reporting has to become a serious matter for all the organizations, for all the people, all the stakeholders, and the repercussions of doing wrong, willfully wrong, should be very serious, and it has to be dealt with very serious attention, and that is something that Murli sir told initially, and as the point that we were discussing. So one of the issue might be its cost associated with it. So how I see it is, it should be serious, and at the same time, it should not be more costly going forward. So it would be, the solution should be, let's say, uh, easier to do and the cost effective. So so that it is means in best interest of any organization to follow through all these directives and publish their report in a right way. So that is what I got from this
Also,
discussion. Yeah,
also reporting and also documenting
yeah,
evidences and communicating them in appropriate manner.
yeah. That's a very important and practical thing that is we all need to understand. So it's already 10 minutes past 8. So what should we do? So I'll just quickly should I just quickly wrap this report? I'll just share what is there, and within next 1 minute I'll just show you what is there, and then we can draw. Okay, so some of the consolidation efforts of different sustainability standards is there. Okay, all right. Performing a materiality assessment. So materiality, I guess it's one of the very important thing, and they have also given different industry types and which are the dimensions about it. So which is applicable as per them. So, but I guess this is always a thing of stakeholder consultation. You sit together, you understand it, and then uh, for the particular organization, you will get to understand what are the different material things, materiality assessment for your particular organization. Yeah, this is one example that they have given. So I'll not explain everything, but one thing definitely sustainability is a team sport. We all can agree on it. The evolving ESG program manager and ESG controller roles, what are they? How they can contribute? Governance and oversight and assurance. So this plays a very vital role in implementation of the ESG reporting. So how do we have the uh, governance, a solid governance, which will help us to mitigate all these risks, and how do we assure that? So something to look forward and have some policies, internal policies for the organization. Yeah, so governance, control, and process. So what I'll do, I'll share this report again in WhatsApp group. So maybe you can read about it, and do let me know if you have any questions. So we can take up that in our next session. But in short, if I go to summary, yeah, so there is also mention of technology and how it help us in auditing and reporting. So it would be interesting to see how it evolves. I'll just read this highlighted and then we can stop for today. By leveraging existing financial reporting infrastructure, personnel adopting a robust technological solution, ESG stakeholders can streamline ESG reporting processes and fortify their organization's commitment to sustainability, ensuring a comprehensive and resilient framework for monitoring and mitigating ESG risk. Something is which is very important for sustainability or ESG report and overall ecosystem to thrive in coming future. So I guess this is very important for all of the organizations. So as it's already well, uh, we have already completed 1 hour 10 minutes. So what I'll do, I'll stop here. But before stopping, so please, if you have any questions, please do let me know. We can take it in next session. And while ending today's session, I would sincerely like to thank all the supporters, all the our participants who have joined from last 1 year, and you have been a support. And because of you, I could do it, and we could do it. Actually, we want to do it better in the next coming year. So please feel free to connect with me. We will co-design it in next coming 1 week. So I might reach out to you also. But if you have some ideas, please do let me know. We'll connect and we will have some solid systems for this initiative. Thank you so much again, and especially thank you, Murli sir, for this wonderful insight for today's session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's always pleasure.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. Thanks.
Thank you, Dhananjay.